Live from the Hexabus News Network Studios, here's your breaking news. This is Hexabus here with Hexabus Gaming. Here's your weekly news. Polygon.com reports one of the most controversial video games of the 2000s is being released. 6 Days in Fallujah, the controversial shooter set during the Iraq War, is finally coming out, nearly 12 years after it was first announced. According to a news release from the game's publisher, the tactical game will be based on true stories gathered from members of the military, as well as Iraqi civilians who lived through the Second Battle of Fallujah in 2004. Developing the title is Highwire Games, a company created by Jamie Gramsmere, game designer for Halo and Infamous franchises. He's the Marty O'Donnell audio director and composer on Halo and Destiny, as well as Bungie's former design director, character, vehicle, and weapon artist. The team also includes Jared Nofto, co-founder of Airtight Games, like Murdered Soul, Suspect, and Dark Void. Victura, a company founded by former Bungie's vice president Peter Tamte, will also publish the game. Tamte was also involved in the original version of 6 Days in Fallujah. 6 Days in Fallujah was originally announced in 2009. At that time, it was in development as a third-person shooter at Atomic Games for PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, and Windows PC, and they had planned to publish it. Shortly after the game's original announcement, however, multiple groups came forward to criticize the concept of the game. The backlash, which made rounds on the international media, eventually led to the publisher dropping the game. Here's a quote from the publisher. After seeing the reaction to the video game in the United States and hearing opinions sent through phone calls and email, we decided several days ago not to sell it. Unquote. Atomic Games shuttered in 2011 after releasing Game Breach. Highwire's version of 6 Days of Fallujah is coming out to an unspecified console and PC platforms in 2021. It will be a tactical first-person shooter military-style game. The city of Fallujah was originally taken and held by the United States military during the early weeks of the 2003 Iraqi War. In 2004, the city became a hotspot, drawing in fighters from around the country and beyond. Fighting there cost countless civilian lives and insurgents their lives as well. The fractured state eventually led to the death of several private military contractors from Blackwater, USA. Their bodies were mutilated and dragged to the streets. The image of their corpses hung from a bridge widely spread across international press, helping make the city a focal point of occupation. Will the game be a big hit, or will it be a center of more controversy? Time will tell. Moving on. Call of Duty Warzone seems to be teasing zombies. Treyarch seems to be teasing Call of Duty Warzone zombies with in-game crossover references. The most obvious suggestion that Warzone is getting some sort of zombie crossover is in the Verdansk Hospital map, where players have discovered something that wasn't there before. A janky trial machine from Black Ops Cold War Zombies mode. You can't interact with the machine, save for a highly suggestive text pop-up that reads ZAI activate _zombies. As Eurogamer notes, the same trial machine can be used in Black Ops Cold War to earn rewards by completing various challenges. It isn't clear if this was intentional tease from the Infinity Ward or accidental preview of what's to come. As you can see in the above tweet, the machine found in Warzone has some unfinished textures and some pop-up text that look like it'd be some leaked script. But this could also be Infinity Ward's way of drumming up intrigue. Either way, it does seem like zombies are coming to Warzone in some way. We'll keep you up to date. Next up, NVIDIA's RTX 3080 destroys AMD's RX 6800 XT in 3D benchmark tests. A new 3D benchmark feature test has been released, ticking off another new coding trick introduced by DirectX 12 Ultimate, enabled by AMD and NVIDIA's graphic architectures. Through our early test, it shows that the NVIDIA RTX 3080 has a hefty lead over the AMD RX 6800 XT. DirectX Ultimate boasts a number of features that will eventually make games tomorrow a little bit more manageable. One of the more interesting of these is mesh shaders, which enables developers to boost performance by changing the way unseen polygons are called. Now this might sound dull, but stick with it here. It's something you want developers to get behind. And why should you care, right? Because there's potentially a massive untapped performance boost if handled correctly. You'll get almost 8 times the frame rate compared to traditional rendering at worst. And in case you're wondering, yes, it looks exactly the same, it just changes how 3D models are handled in game engines. In other news, Bungie addresses Eyes of Tomorrow exotic bug. Featuring the most recent of Destiny 2 Beyond Light season of The Chosen, many players were wondering if the rated Eyes of Tomorrow rocket was nerfed. Turns out the dramatic weakening wasn't intentional, as Bungie confirms that the issues are related to a bug that the team is working to try to fix. The Eyes of Tomorrow rocket launcher is a drop from the final encounter in the newest raid to join the game, which is Deep Stone Crypt. Now, this is a highly desirable weapon due to the perks attached, but the latest update saw a massive decline in power behind this exotic weapon. Now, the weapon in its normal form fires out several powerful rockets in one swoop, but many Guardians have noticed that the damage has been noticeably less. Given that the rockets themselves were buffed, the issues with the rocket launcher were quite confusing. Luckily, we've had some clarity and Bungie should be rolling out a fix soon. Bungie's community manager, Cosmo, took to Twitter to respond to a question directed at the team, asking if there was an update on the nerf in question. Cosmo responded, quoting, "Just confirmed that any damage reductions to the Eyes of Tomorrow were definitely not intentional and the team is currently investigating the bug," unquote. He added for additional clarity that, quote, "Adaptive ordnance only triggering off kills is intentional, as referenced in the description," unquote. In its original form, the stock perks made this rocket incredibly grind-worthy with its smart drift controls, fitted stock, and alloy casing. The ability to track and fire multiple targets at once was also a beast to run with, in addition to the adaptive ordnance, which was recently changed intentionally. Players could get this weapon in the final encounter of the Deepstone Crypt raid when facing off against the final boss, Tankus. While the changes to adaptive ordnance aren't a huge hit with everyone, it's nice to see that other tweaks were intentional and that everything went back to working order soon enough. And last up, NVIDIA's RTX 3060 graphics card is launching on February 25th. This card is designed to succeed the aging GeForce GTX 1060 Pascal cards. The RXT 3060 features 12 gigabytes of GDDR6 memory. Like most other products featured with the RTX 3000 series, the RTX 3060 will also support DLSS and NVIDIA's suite of the RTX applications. With the new RTX 30 card coming in later this month, we do anticipate that the RTX 3060 graphics GPU will sell out pretty quickly. Now, these cards have been difficult to purchase since last fall when the RTX 30 series first debuted. In January, NVIDIA said it anticipates supply for this GPU for both consumers and partners will probably be pretty lean, pretty hard to get, which probably won't end until late April. To alleviate the short supply and the sky-high prices, NVIDIA confirmed yesterday that it plans to bring back its older RTX 2060 and GTX 1050 Ti cards. And that's it. If you like this content, please press that like button and subscribe. This is Hexbus here with Hexbus Gaming, signing out.